Okay, we're going to show you how to make these buttons using this Mr. Button machine. It's really old and the instructions are not very clear, so we're going to walk through the process. The first thing to do is to take your pictures, and there's lots of different software available to make the template. I used a 3.5 inch circle, and you can fit 4 on a page if you make your margins narrow. I used Inkscape to do these templates. There's lots of free software. Inkscape is free. GIMP is another one that's like Photoshop. There's lots of different options on how to edit your photos and make templates, and there's tons of YouTubes on that, so I'm not going to go over that. But once you get your photos printed, this is what we use to cut them out. If you have a Cricut or a Scan and Cut that'll do a better circle, like without having to manually do them, that's awesome. But this is what comes with the machine. It's got this base. So you put the picture on there. This is a 3.5 inch circle, and it actually cuts a 3 1/8 inch. So you have a little bit of a margin. You can see on these that I've already cut out. It didn't catch all of it. So you just kind of want to center it over the photo. You press down, you push this thing down, and the blade goes around and it cuts it out. You just have to be careful because it kind of wants to slip on you. And if you end up with a little bit of a jagged edge, it's not a huge deal because part of it wraps around the button when you press it. So over here on the machine, this one here that does not have the circle in it is where the top part of the button goes. That's this one here. You put that here, and you can load 2 buttons at a time. This is a 4-station one, so you can do 2 at a time. And then your back piece, here's the pin that would go on the back of the button, and this is the inside of it with the little squiggly part, and that goes on this one that has the hole in it. And if you see these little notches right here, you're lining this up to where it lines up with those notches. That'll keep your pin so you're not cattywampus when it's lined up with the picture. So your photo, you take a piece of Mylar, I don't know if you can see that Mylar or not, it's a clear plastic piece, and you kind of center it over the photo. It's bigger than the picture, so you're going to center it over that, and the bottom of the picture, the bottom of whatever it is, goes against this screw. So here, the bottom of the picture's here. You've got your back pin lined up on this one, and you're going to turn it so that this goes just past this thing and then back, so it kind of locks into place. And this screw right here is real important. This thing turns, and so it's not always in place. It should be, but if it's not, you want this part here to be all the way to the right when you're doing the top of the button. Then you just press this down, and you bring it up, and you turn to the next piece, and you see it's gone. It's up inside there. And then you come back, and this thing right here has to be all the way to the left this time. So make sure that screws all the way to the left, and then you press it down. And then when you turn it over here, you have your finished button and your pins on the back, and it's straight up and down, and it's good to go. It's great if you have two or three people, so you can have somebody loading these while the next person's getting the thing set up, and it works really fast. You kind of get in a groove. We did some for an event last weekend, and we did about 50 buttons in probably 30 minutes with 2 or 3 of us working together. So it goes really quick, but you just have to make sure that this screw thing, because if it's in the middle and you try to press it, then it clunks down really hard, and sometimes the Mylar doesn't get all the way around it. So that's the important piece right there to remember. And now you can make your buttons super fast.